I am here with Tracey Thomson, currently in BC. You're currently vacationing in BC, Tracey.
I am.
It is such an honor to have you here and to chat with you about your story and your journey into the Mind Rebel Academy and becoming a coach. Tracey is a current student of the Mind Rebel Academy. We are more than halfway through your training of becoming a certified professional coach. Tracey, I would love for you to start by sharing what drew you here? What's the story and what drew you here?
So I would say it was probably very serendipitous because I randomly had logged on to my computer one day and I was listening to a luncheon live with a fellow alumni coach of yours.
Yeah.
And she was speaking about, I can't remember what it was specifically, but she was talking about how your coaching doesn't necessarily follow a straight line of trajectory, and it's not linear in your learning and in your training and as in life.
Yes.
And she was talking about it, and I can't remember what it was in regard to, but at that time I was having the same problem with wanting to coach in my fitness groups. And I was having a hard time because I kept dipping into the world of personal development, which is my absolute all-time love. And I kept dipping into it and trying to put that into my fitness groups, but it wasn't working. And something that she said resonated along that line. And I was like, I need to reach out to her. I need to talk to her. So I did. Right after she was done her live, I actually reached out to her. And then she put me in touch with Mind Rebel Academy. And I have forever been happy about that decision ever since.
Yeah. So you were in the world, you still are in the world of fitness coaching.
I am, yes.
Yeah. And so now transitioning into, not just transitioning, but building on.
Yes, taking in a bigger whole.
Yeah, taking in the bigger whole. And that's what you really, I remember, chatting with you when you were first looking to explore the Mind Rebel Academy and wanting to become a professional certified coach, is so that you could go to those deeper layers with your clients.
Yes. And have the credibility to do so with having the comfort of having the training behind me.
Yeah.
Knowing that I was certified, and both my comfort and the client's comfort, because it gives that layer of comfort and that credibility because what I was already fumbling around in was kind of, a pseudo life coaching trying to approach to my fitness, and it wasn't working. And it wasn't being well received. Let's put it that way. It maybe might have been working, but it wasn't being well received in that vein because I was trying to put a square peg in a round hole kind of thing, and it wasn't working. And now it's so much improved.
Yeah. So what do you think the biggest, now being halfway through the training, what have the biggest changes been in your coaching?
I have to say in myself.
Yeah.
Because I've found that you have to keep peeling back the layers until you find what's really there at the heart of it, so that you can add on the layers that you want to build that beautiful tapestry that becomes that world. And you have to first dig deep, which isn't always comfortable.
Yeah.
But you have to get there first so that you can start layering back on with take away the limiting beliefs so that you can layer on the empowering ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how you say, like, take away the limiting beliefs. And oftentimes people are like, oh, we'll just like remove it. But removing it is such a deep and raw and
raw word, yes.
And that's what practitioner training, that's what part one of the coach training series is all about, right? Is we at the Mind Rebel Academy, we all like subscribe to this belief that we can only go as deep as with others as we're willing to go with ourselves.
Yes.
And the most extraordinary coaches live these deeply examined lives. So I love what you just said, that it's been more about you. It's been more about your looking at you and looking internal and peeling back the layers and looking at the limiting beliefs, and, even the ways in which we listen to others, we hold space for others. All of that has to like be undone so that we can be that pure and clear, unfiltered lens to hold space for another human being.
Absolutely. And that it permeates other areas of your life.
Mm.
It's your relationships with your marriage, your kids, in my case, grandkids. And I look sometimes at my grandkids and think, oh, I wish I'd have had this skill set when my own kids were growing up, because it's almost like being given, I don't want to say a manual, but it's almost like being given a bit of a guidebook and saying, okay,
Yeah.
you can try this. This might work.
Yeah.
And if I'd have had that knowledge, that skill set, just and why weren't you in my head when I was raising my kids? And why wasn't the Mind Rebel Academy here 3 years ago, 30 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does, it permeates all your relationships. It just, it's so beautiful. It's
Mm.
really beautiful.
Mm. So, in the Mind Rebel Academy, we spend a lot of time on our students' dreams and helping them to foster and create and craft the biggest, most like the boldest, most beautiful vision for their lives, and then help them to create the path to get there. Essentially, we are guiding you through what you are going to be guiding your clients through, right? The closing the gap from where you want to be to where you are today. And I'm wondering, Tracey, since saying yes to this training, since learning this methodology, since being part of this experience, what is possible for you now?
Anything. Anything that I can conceive of. Yeah, I don't say that lightly,
Yeah.
because I've always had these great big grandiose big dreams, and I honestly think that with the skill set, it's empowerment. So you've got the empowerment, so you've got the belief that literally anything is possible.
Mm.
Sky's the limit. But for me, it's like being able to, I've got this and it's been gifted to me. Let me gift it to other people and empower them, and let them live their dreams. And that to me is the most empowering concept that could possibly have come from all of it.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Because my dream is to be on a stage speaking.
Yeah.
And on our way here yesterday, we were listening to Lisa Nichols, and I love listening to her.
I could listen to her all day long.
Me too. Me too. And I'm like, that could be me. And before, if I'd have said that, it would have been an empty statement. And I guess what's possible now is that is possible for me to say that and believe it.
Wow.
So I guess the belief is there now that wasn't there before, because it was an empty statement that I would have said before. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's just one of those, oh yeah, I want to do that one day. And you could go to a summit or a convention and it's like, oh yeah, I get all pumped up and be excited for it, and then come home and not have those tools necessarily to actually build on what your dreams are. So now having those tools to actually build on those dreams, it puts real belief into the what was once an empty husk of a statement. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just want to build on that, because I think the other thing that it does is it gives you those actionable steps forward without having to know every single step of the way.
Exactly.
Without having to know every how along the journey, which our minds want to map out. Like our minds want that safety and that, right? Our minds want to say, okay, I could believe in this, but I have to know every step along the way. This methodology gives you those 1 to 3 next best steps that are right in front of you, and then just trusting that the next best steps will unfold, and the next best steps, and like, how do you navigate what those next, how do you discern between, the intuition that is guiding you forward and the fear that is wanting to hold you back or keep you safe, right? And so I just love the way you describe what's opened up for you is anything your heart can possibly yearn for. And then the roadmap to get there.
Yeah. Yes. And I actually listened to a podcast just recently, and I can't remember his name, forgive me, but he was the coach of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and others. And he said, everyone has fear.
Yeah.
But don't let doubt, which is different than fear, hold you back. And it was like, okay, that's a pretty empowering differentiation to make. And as I thought about that for a while, it's like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna use that for sure. And that, I think, really applies to life coaching, speaking on stage, fitness. It just applies to any kind of a goal that you have. It's like, okay, everybody has fear.
You can be scared. Yeah.
You can be scared, but do it scared. Yeah.
Shivers.
Don't let doubt hold you back.
I love that. So, Tracey, who are you working with? Tell us, like anyone watching this who's wanting to learn more about what you're doing, what kind of clients are you working with right now?
Women right now. And I'm life coaching my husband. Does that count?
Yeah, absolutely, that
counts. So I wouldn't be exclusive to only women. Because I can definitely benefit from life coaching as well.
Absolutely.
But I haven't really narrowed it down really specifically, but I'm wanting to work with people who are serious about a dream, and maybe one that they've had for a while, and they've tried other methods, and they've thought, or they've tried to do it on their own without guidance. Because when you get talking to people, there's a lot of people out there that have these dreams, and we kind of attract these people that have these dreams. And I want to work with people who want to help others do the same, and just keep a chain going and pay it forward and empower. Yes, have that ripple effect and empower other people. Because where's the good in holding it all to yourself? Like, there's just no good in that. And the most rewarding sessions are always those where, I think you said it in one of our sessions, and it's like, if we were to advise like we would maybe with our children or something, and then we get a dopamine hit, and it's like, oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
But when in coaching, I want the dopamine hit for them, because we always get the ripple effect of the dopamine effect afterwards. Because when somebody has a breakthrough or an aha moment, it's like, yes, you get to celebrate with them. Feeling. It's the best feeling in the world. Yes. It's so, and it's empowering to them, but it's empowering to you.
Yeah.
When that happens. So yeah, women who maybe are feeling stuck, for the most part, would be the base of my clientele that I would, but know back here somewhere and down here that they have a dream and they're meant for something. And I don't know, maybe the people that I've talked to, it's like, okay, you've survived an accident, or you've come out of a relationship that was maybe not so great. Probably the people that have a little bit of trauma in their background, just to prove to them that you're here and you survived all through that for some greater reason. Because I truly believe that if you've got a backstory like that, where you've got some trauma, some backstory like that, and we all have something. But I just really truly believe that you were meant to survive for something. And I want to reach those people in the back of the room. I want those people in the back of the room. I want them to be seen.
That has been your why since the moment I met you. And I love that about you.
Yeah. I just want those people that are maybe hanging back in the back of the room. It's like, okay, I see you. I see you back there. I see you. I know you've got a story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tracey, how can people reach out to you if they are intrigued to learn more?
Instagram and Facebook are my primary networks that I use. And I'm on there because I started in fitness, Team Thomson's without a P, Mob Squad on both platforms. So it's
I'm going to link it in the comments so that people can actually just click to it. So
perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And for anyone watching this who is interested in becoming a coach, like Tracey was, and interested, whether you are currently coaching with no formal training or doing some other kind of coaching and want to broaden that and become an ICF accredited professional certified coach, our next round of coach training starts in a couple weeks, and there's a couple spots left. We're about to embark on a whole new journey. Tracey, for anyone watching, do you have any words of wisdom that you want to offer or leave them with?
I would say reach out and do what Taryn just asked you to do. don't if you've got so much as a little niggly feeling like, oh, I wonder what that's about, check it out and find out, because you will never be sorry, because there are coaching schools everywhere. But this one is fantastic because it reaches in and it's got that spiritual aspect to it that is probably my main draw, that I just think it puts it up here where the others are here. So I would say, yeah, don't delay. If you're even the least bit curious, do it.
Yeah. Oh,
and what can it hurt? What can it hurt?
Yes, we have I will put actually our discovery call link, so you can book a call with our director of admissions if this is interested to you. And just like Tracey said, jump on a call and talk it out and see if this is your next best step. Just like it was for Tracey.
And I've never been sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today, Tracey. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And it's just always such an honor to connect with you.
Thank you.